Hello, and welcome back to the chapter 4 of the book, Secrets to Keeping Your Home, Stop Foreclosure Permanently, and Get On With Your Life. So today, Homeowner Heroes, I'm going to go over the chapter called Beware of Scams. So the quote that begins this chapter is from Walter Kern, a novelist, literary critic, and essayist. And it says, the reason that con artists get away with what they get away with is that their victims are ashamed of their own blindness and their own gullibility, and they just tend to go away quietly. And my coaching, or what I suggest, is just be aware of what's going on. There are a lot of scam artists when it comes to foreclosure. A lot of people promising that they can stop the foreclosure, or that they can help you fill out your paperwork. They'll typically will always charge for a fee in advance. I'm going to go through a few things for you as well in this episode. But yeah, just pay attention. The big thing is that no one should be taking money from you up front other than an attorney. Even a real estate agent should not be taking money from you up front. They should be getting that from somewhere else, their income from somewhere else. So with that being said, let's dive into this. So look, as with any opportunity, there'd be criminals who try and take advantage of people and homeowners, especially when they're desperate and they're just hurting. I mean, it's unfortunately a huge green flag for a con artist. And so one website I do recommend going to is called www.loansscamalert.org. That's www.loans with an S, scamalert.org. And basically, it's like just list suspicious activities, or at least warning signs for you to look for. I'm just going to go over 6 of them now. So one, like I said, a company or person that asks for a fee in advance to work with your lender to modify, refinance, or reinstate your mortgage. Technically, the MARS Act, M-A-R-S Act, says that the only people that collect money up front are attorneys and real estate agents. So other than that, no one else. So don't ever give money to anyone that can promise you to work with you on those items, unless they're an attorney or a real estate agent. A company that guarantees they can stop foreclosures or get your loan modified for a fee. Okay. A person that advises you to stop paying your mortgage company and pay them instead. Yeah, bad idea. A company that pressures you to sign over the deed to your property, or sign any paperwork that you haven't had a chance to read or that you fully don't understand. And I'm going to say also that's not in your best interest. So, make sure that if you are going to sign something, that there's a benefit for you and you understand what that is. A company claims that offer government-approved or official government loan modifications. There's typically no such thing, okay? And then number 6 is a company or person that you don't know asks you to release personal financial information online or over the phone. I mean, it's typical identity theft, which, you just don't know who you're talking to on the other phone unless you really generate that call typically. Okay, so as you can see, there's just some real dangers out there, and just please read the full comments located on the webpage, and refer to them often as scams. Change frequently. So I'm talking about the webpage, the loansscamalert.org website, because the scammers just come up with new ideas all the time. Also, when you hire an attorney, always check out your state's BAR, B-A-R, website for attorneys. Check to see if they've been sanctioned or disciplined. See if you, especially if you can get a picture, okay, and an official picture from the bar website on your, from your state is best. Look, there are many homeowners that scam by fake attorneys, that were pretending to do foreclosure defense in Florida, New Jersey, and New York, especially. For whatever reason, those states were hit hardest with fake attorneys that were just collecting funds and doing nothing. So just be aware of that. Another large scam was with a company called Bella Homes LLC. They said they would purchase the property going into foreclosure and then rent it back to the original homeowner. But essentially, according to the state and federal lawsuits against Bella Homes, they never actually purchased the property, nor did they stop the foreclosure. And this constitutes mortgage fraud. So just be aware of what you're getting yourself into before signing any documents. I mean, one of the things I would recommend maybe is finding free legal aid if you have any questions about a company that you're doing business with, that you don't understand things. Just to get some clarification. I think also Bella Holmes. Well, I think the other issue with this is that technically you can't really like an investor cannot come in and buy a property at on a foreclosure sale and get it below market price, or below the below market price, or whatever, and then either rent it or sell it back to the homeowner. So I do believe that does constitute mortgage fraud as well. Bella Homes is just worse because they weren't doing anything, but they were just collecting a bunch of money. So wow. All right, another scam is that a company or individual will promise to fight the bank for you to reduce the loan amount and remove the loan from the property using quiet title. So there were, back in the day, 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, there was people that would basically come in and say, hey, I can get the loan detached from your property using quiet title. We will go ahead and basically save the property from going from foreclosure. And quiet title is just so you know, the quiet title is the process of, if there's any I don't know how to put it, any discrepancies with the title, then you can go to court and say, all right, anyone who has a claim in the property, please come forward and disclose what your claim is, make your claim to the court, and the court will determine whether it's valid or not. So let's say that you had a judgment against you, or a mechanic's lien against the property, but it was filed incorrectly. It was actually supposed to be against another property, but it came up against yours for whatever reason, bad paperwork. And you needed to clear that off before you could sell your home. How you would do that is with a quiet title action in court. Some people were using it also to remove the loan, separate the loan from the property itself, kind of removing the mortgage, which is, I call the glue between the loan and the property. The mortgage actually attaches or deed of trust attaches the loan to the property. So, but there were investors back in the day, and especially in Florida, that were just doing this full time, just trying to quiet title every single property. And the Supreme Court of Florida ruled that this type of business was fraudulent and unlawful. So you just can't be using quiet title as a business practice, but you can certainly use it as a homeowner to clean up any title issues. That's not gone away. So also, word of caution, there were just criminals that were scamming homeowners through false loan modifications. Just be very careful of paperwork coming in the mail that asks you to send money to reinstate your loan or qualify for a new loan modification. Essentially, it's public records that you're in foreclosure, okay? And the scam artists become very adept at making it look like they're from the bank, and that you're getting this loan modification, that you need to send money right away to make sure that you don't go into foreclosure. So just always research the phone number, on separately, not the paperwork that you get in the mail, but go online and just call your bank, and after you've researched the phone number, and just confirm anything with the bank that looks suspicious. So just really want to be cognizant of just not giving your money away, not to the appropriate people. And sometimes, I'll be honest, even just getting it to the bank appropriately when they ask for it can be tough too. So just stay on top of that and make sure you're sending it to the right people, the right bank address, the right department, and not to any scam artists. So there are also scam artists who will try and rent out properties that have already been foreclosed and are owned by the bank. So they're basically, the property is sitting there. It's after the foreclosure, and people will pretend to be real estate agents or the owners of the property. They'll get it rekeyed and start renting it out, even though they don't own it. They will usually ask for a deposit in cash and try and move you in. The rent, they want the rent in cash and try and move you into the property as soon as possible. They won't do much background checks or anything like that. So, if you get a suspicious feeling about the deal, just be sure to look up the history of the property through your local county records, or go to the record of deeds and just see who owns the property currently. Or actually, a really great way is to go online to the tax assessor's office and just see who owns it. If it's a bank and someone else is just trying to rent that property out, it's a no-go. So, I'm just saying this in case you ever are looking for a rental property and it just seems too good to be true. Okay. Look, and I would just, as a final comment, I will say that a legitimate loan modification program or real estate investor would never charge you or ask you for money. Okay. And also, they should never allow you to stay in the property as a long-term renter, nor resell the property back to you. I did talk about this before. Those two things constitute mortgage fraud. There are compassionate real estate investors who do care about the homeowners and may talk you through the loan modification. For example, we offer a course on our website called stoptheforeclosure.expert. You can go on there and get a free loan modification course to help you get through that as well. And so there are investors and other groups that can be a great referral source. So the insider secret to this: just make sure you're sending your payments and loan modification documents to the correct location and department. Many homeowners in foreclosure call the bank every time they send a payment in or a loan modification form to ensure that it gets to the right people. Always call your bank directly if you suspect anything suspicious to confirm whatever you're getting in the mail or someone knocking on your door. Be wary when it comes to turn over your property to someone that you barely know. And do they have your best interest in place? And then just do your research to make sure you understand every aspect of a deal that you're going to be involved with. So that is kind of my this is the chapter. This is blog 4, beware of scams. I'm just putting it out there so that you are aware of what's going on. And look, if you want to know more about what's possible for your home and your situation, you can go to stoptheforeclosure.expert, not .com, but .expert. And you can sign up for a free home review, just a 30-minute call where we'll kind of go over the 14 different steps of, you tell us your situation and what you'd like to get, and then we can go over the 14 different steps or strategies a homeowner can take while in foreclosure and just point out a few of them that you might want to take. So, that's just it's a free service that we do offer. Like I said, there is a loan modification course available as well. You can get that there for free. And look, the other thing that I'm also going to make a request to help fund this so we can get out to as many people as possible is that if and when you ever decide to sell your house, so whether it's selling for equity, short selling, you get through the foreclosure and 5 years from now you decide to sell your house, please come back and let us just refer you to a great real estate agent. It does help fund this education that we're trying to put out, and we'd just love to get you in touch with a great real estate agent. So, all right, my homeowner heroes, take care of yourself, and just see you on the next video. And subscribe if you want to know what's coming out, the latest and greatest. So, and like this video if you don't mind. It helps get it out to the rest of the people. And feel free to comment any questions or anything down below. We will read them and also put together a Q&A episode. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining me today on Chapter 4, Beware of Scams.